Hey everyone, this is Adrian from my channel Random Drop. If you like our content, make sure to subscribe. We're more than halfway to 1,000 subscribers. From there, this channel's quality and content can grow quite significantly, and I hope that you stick around. But anyway, let's get back to the video. Many years ago, a giant man with horns appeared in a distant village. The villagers welcomed him with joy, believing he brought blessings from the spirit world. But as time went on, they began to fear him. Tormented, the giant man transformed and attacked them, becoming a demon. A village youth took a stand and gathered a multitude of golden stones and forged a blade that gleamed a brilliant light. The demon was cut down with this very blade, and it was entrusted to future generations. Nioh 2 opens with the vision from your past. A tattooed man with red eyes attacks you and a woman nearby. You turn to the woman and she hands you a glowing dagger and says, "Live on, my child. Be strong." You awaken to the sounds of a man begging for help outside of your hut. You then dispatch a small yokai quickly. After surviving the attack on your life when you were a child, you've carved out a lonely living, ridding the world of demons. Back in your hut, you find a letter placed asking you to meet someone in Jusan Zakura, a nearby village, to help clear out the location of yokai. You head to the area and slaughter your way through the demon hordes and face off against the largest one, using your half yokai blood to transform and defeat it. But after the battle, you begin to lose control of yourself and go berserk, until a man with a monkey guardian spirit arrives and uses a large glowing stone to calm your transformation. The man introduces himself as Tokichiro, the one who wrote you the letter. You introduce yourself as Hide, showing the name inscribed into your dagger. During your conversation, his guardian spirit possesses you, and you get flashes of Tokichiro's life. He spent much of his life peddling spirit stones, the monkey at some point becoming his guide. He knows of you as the demon who slays their own kin, but sees that the soul within is unmistakably human. He gets the feeling that the two of you will make an incredible team, and he asks that you follow him to crawl to the top of the world from nothing and follow your dreams. This friendship is the beginning of your long journey. Guardian spirits are born from the light of human faith and belief, attracted to those with strong wills. Yokai are born from the darkness of human grudge and anger. These entities leave behind residual stones called armorita, or spirit stones, used to create weaponry or enhance physical abilities. But if used incorrectly or with ill intent, they can transform humans into demons as well. Tokichiro understands that due to all the ceaseless war in the land, the sightings of yokai are beginning to increase drastically. He believes that this is the perfect time to make a name for yourselves, using his smarts and your muscle. Your first task is to guard Tokichiro as he visits one of his largest spirit stone buyers, Saito Dosan. Impressed by Tokichiro's haul of spirit stones from Jusan Zakura, Dosan gives him another task: to investigate the unusual events in Mount Tatara, a smithing village that has suddenly gone quiet. After clearing the village and removing it of its demons and bandits, you're suddenly attacked by a woman with a large scythe. The two of you fight each other fiercely until Tokichiro runs into the room and de-escalates the situation, asking the two of you to stop and talk things over a warm meal. He explains everything and summarizes that the two of you are not enemies. The woman asks why he's traveling with the yokai, and he simply says he's going to be like the sun, blazing high in the sky. He will be so strong that no one will stand a chance. The woman says she wants to slay yokai, nothing more or nothing less, then leaves the area, warning Tokichiro if she sees that thing again, it will taste her blade. Afterwards, you and Tokichiro travel the land doing jobs for Dosan and collecting spirit stones, until you learn Dosan is in danger, as he's attacked by his successor, Yoshitatsu, suffering heavy losses and now retreated and wounded. Tokichiro believes he's an important ally and the two of you should head to his rescue. And when you find Dosan, he's hiding beneath his castle in a secret passage, and he notices your glowing blue eyes and asks your name. You show him the dagger with the name Hide inscribed into it. Dosan is at a loss for words, but his guardian spirit possesses you and tells you the tale. Years ago, Dosan was a yokai hunter, a mumyo, until the day he met a yokai woman. Afterwards, he smashed his yokai slaying sword and discarded his old name. It was rumored that the sword he wielded granted eternal life, but after having a child with the yokai woman, it mattered little to him now. The two made a solemn vow to gather all spirit stones in the land and protect them from ever being used for evil, to build a world where yokai and man could live in peace. The two of you realize that Dosan may be your blood father, but the reunion is cut short when the invading yokai bursts into the cave. Dosan sacrifices himself and locks you inside the secret passage and commands you to head to Owari. As you make your escape, Tokichiro catches up. The two of you are surrounded by demons inside the cave system until the woman with the giant scythe arrives and dispatches the enemy quickly, joking that you can pay for her services later. Now with Yoshitatsu in control of the area and all of the spirit stones, it is no longer safe. The two of you follow Dosan's words and head to Owari. In Owari, Tokichiro explains that the area is Oda clan territory. The head of the clan is a young man named Oda Nobunaga. Rumors are swirling around that he is a big shot in the making, but also others doubt the young ruler, calling him an idiot. Tokichiro isn't sure what to make of him just yet, but Lord Dosan did let Nobunaga marry his daughter, so he must be a reliable man. In Kiyosu Castle, you and Tokichiro meet the young ruler and his sister Oichi to offer your services. Now in the year of 1560, for your first battle, you follow Nobunaga into war at Okezama, a nearby mountainside in the Oda territory, with the goal of finding and defeating the enemy's general, Yoshimoto. Tokichiro believes this is a great time to show your worth and climb the ranks. After slaughtering your way through enemy troops and yokai, you find Yoshimoto and have a one-on-one duel to the death. After defeating him, the general honorably accepts his death, and Tokichiro is ecstatic with what you were able to accomplish. And Nobunaga finds himself impressed, now knowing why you caught Dosan's eye. Together with Tokichiro, you continue to work under Nobunaga, completing many feats under his leadership. And around the year 1567, the day of reckoning comes for Yoshitatsu, Dosan's heir, with the invasion of Inabayama Castle in the Mino province. With Nobunaga attacking the front, you and Tokichiro slip into the castle to deal with Yoshitatsu, but Tokichiro is more interested in finding the stolen spirit stones. While he searches, you reach Yoshitatsu and face him in one-on-one combat. Years ago, Yoshitatsu turned the power of the spirit stones in order to overthrow their father, stealing his store of stones and using them to amass an army of yokai to drive him to his death. When you face them, Yoshitatsu has a striking resemblance to you. But after they're defeated, their body disintegrates into a black goo, and a red-eyed man with a staff emerges from the body for a brief moment before disappearing. This causes your blade to glow and react, and the scythe-wielding woman, known as Mumio, has a pendant with a sword hilt that begins to glow as well. Tokichiro isn't far behind, but is upset that he wasn't able to find any of the lost spirit stones. And at the celebration banquet, for your continuous support and victories, Tokichiro begs that the two of you would be known by a new name, and Nobunaga grants his wish, combining the two names into Hide Yoshi, and says he will continue to expect the unexpected from you two. Now that the conquest of Mino has reached its end, Nobunaga now sets his focus to the west, but in order to do that, he wishes to claim the surrounding area of his new capital. In 1570, you and Tokichiro continue to prove your worth, First, by buying time for Lord Nobunaga and his forces to retreat, with the help of Akechi Mitsuhide's forces. But his reinforcements never arrive. After your task is done, Mumio leads you through the mountainous area to make your escape. But although the path is safe from enemy forces, it's filled with yokai. Mumio eventually leads you to a clearing, but it's the nest of a large owl demon. Once you defeat it, your blade and her medallion begin to glow, the light purifying the nearby tormented souls. Mumio's guardian spirit then possesses you and shares a vision. The Sohaya, an ancient sect of yokai hunters, found her when she was a child. She's lived by their laws her whole life, and in their beliefs, when the blade of Sohaya regains its light, the dark realm will be purged and the dead finally laid to rest. Having just witnessed such a feat, at long last Mumio's path has been lit. Tokichiro was surprised that Mumio was Sohaya all along, but explains how aggressive she was towards you when you first met. But it seems some sort of bridge is being built between the two of you, and he gets a feeling you both will need her help again. After, Nobunaga continues battles in the area, but the use of spirit stones escalate from enemy forces out of desperation. The climax is the assault of Aza Nagasama's castle, Nobunaga's brother-in-law. Although surrounded, Aza refuses to release Nobunaga's sister, Oichi, to safety and surrender. You and Tokichiro take advantage of the surrounding chaos and slip into the castle to save her. Aza transforms into a yokai for your battle, and after you defeat him, the red-eyed man with a staff exits his body and begins to approach Oichi, but you stand in his way. Tokichiro bursts into the room wondering what's going on, and the red-eyed man simply tells him the dreams of the spirit stones come at a price, before disappearing into a rift in space. It's revealed by Aza's spirit guardian that he was taken advantage of by the man with red eyes, and convinced to betray his brother-in-law. His last wish is that you protect his wife and make your escape. Tokichiro regrets how things turned out for Lady Yoichi, but now there's no one left in the area to oppose Lord Nobunaga. He can dispatch forces anywhere around the capital with ease, and he mentions that Nobunaga's even taken an interest in the power of spirit stones. He believes that both of you may be rewarded with your very own castle, as his two go experts on the matter. With the power of spirit stones, nothing can stand in the way of Hideyoshi, and he expresses that this is the beginning of your rise to the top. It is now 1578. Hideyoshi now has their own land and castle, but it seems as though the local daimyos have allied against the Oda clan. Nobunaga plans to destroy their alliance in one fell swoop at the Hongaji Temple. His dream of unifying the nation is almost in reach. Once the temple's under siege, Nobunaga promises Tokichiro the abundance of spirit stones that are held within its walls, if he's able to secure it. He's excited by the news and runs off to make preparations. And at the temple you defeat the mercenary leader protecting it, but he warns you that you should leave, as the massive spirit stones have summoned a large demon. You let him escape and continue forth to face off against the Gyuki. Oda's forces are successful in taking the temple, and a store of stones were found in its depths. Tokichiro then passes on a message through Mumio that he's going to stay behind and guard the spirit stones, and you should head back west to join the Hideyoshi army. But unknown to you, a mysterious red-eyed man contacts Tokichiro, sensing his pride. In the year of 1582, Lord Nobunaga was betrayed by one of his vassals, Akechi Mitsuhide. It's revealed that he has knowledge of magic and believed the misuse of spirit stones would only lead to chaos. He saw Tokichiro as a threat and planned to leave him to die during battle, but assumed wrong, as Mumio was able to secure his escape from the retreat. And now with Hideyoshi gaining more strength and Nobunaga using more spirit stones to further his goals, conflicted, Akechi Mitsuhide decided Oda Nobunaga must die. Hearing the news, you and Mumio head to his location at Honnoji Temple, leaving your army to hold off advances from the west. But you're too late, as Oda Nobunaga and his wife died in the fires of Honnoji Temple. You head back to the capital and give Oichi the news. She understands that you plan to go after Akechi Mitsuhide for his betrayal. but is pained by the thought things turn out this way. She shows you a giant spirit stone gifted to her by Tokichiro a few days ago, and he described it as a stone that grants wishes. But when she looks at it, her heart is ill at ease, and she finds surrendering oneself to a wish or desire frightful. She simply says, war is unending as long as people continue to be people. Yet with you, she feels a power greater than any human. She is heartbroken, and her guardian spirit possesses you, letting you know her true feelings. When death claimed the love of her life, her brother and his wife implored her to be strong, but now they too have perished. If life were to hand her any more sorrow, she fears she will be broken irrecoverably. Months later, a Hideyoshi army appears with yokai in tow. Akechi's troops have been beaten into a hasty retreat in a decisive battle on Mount Tenno. Akechi is confused how Tokichiro was able to create so many yokai without a large supply of spirit stones, as the stones were supposed to be locked away by his second command, Saito Toshimitsu. It's revealed that the man with red eyes possessed Saito and has been conspiring with Tokichiro. You arrive during the chaos as Saito attempts to kill Akechi in his own camp, transforming into the demon Ryomen Sakuna. After defeating Sakuna, the man with red eyes again exits the body he's been possessing and leaves through a dark rift. Saito awakens from his brainwashing and wishes to go after Akechi, but Tokichiro arrives and stabs him in the gut. He commends you for doing a bang-up job as always, and asks if you're ready to make tracks and find Akechi. But you begin to get an odd feeling, and Tokichiro picks up on your uneasiness. Before you can say anything, he's attacked by Saito, still alive from his wound. Tokichiro's men make quick work of him, but in his final words he begs you to protect his lord, and in the chaos you make your escape. Tokichiro caught off guard that you left his side. In the nearby woods you find Akechi hiding, ready and willing to accept his death. But instead, you spare him and decide to go down a different path than your old friend. Akechi is surprised by your actions and suggests to entreat with Lord Ieyasu for aid. Lord Ieyasu was a friend of Nobunaga, and Akechi informs you that he is currently being pursued by Tokichiro, so he sends you up on ahead to help his forces in the Iga province. When you arrive, you bump into the ninja Hattori Hanzo, currently allied with Ieyasu's clan. With his guardian spirit possessing you, you learn more of their goal. As war rages in the land, all that hate and grief has grown, empowering the demons, and as things stand, the world is in grave danger. But Ieyasu Tokugawa fights to save it, but he will need your help. In 1583, you are sent to help Lord Katsui, an ally of Ieyasu. After losing to Tokichiro, his castle is under siege by his forces, but when you arrive it's too late, as Katsui has transformed into a massive yokai monster. After defeating him, it's revealed by his guardian spirit that when Tokichiro's forces attacked, he held his wife close and made a final wish to the spirit stones, determined to save her at all costs. His wife is none other than Oichi, remarried. Before passing away, Katsui apologizes to Oichi for everything and entrusts you with protecting his wife. But now with grief of losing her brother and 2 husbands weighing on her, Oichi takes her own life a few moments later. In 1584, the time has come to take the battle to Tokichiro. As the Tokugawa and Hideyoshi armies clash, you head towards his location. But when you arrive, he's been waiting for you to find him, sitting atop a mountain of spirit stones. Tokichiro offers you the other half of the country, as you are the other half of Hideyoshi. He offers status and more spirit stones, but to his surprise, you ignore all of his offers. With no middle ground, Tokichiro offers you death, but you are successful in defeating your old companion and put him out of his madness. But unknown to you, the man with red eyes has been manipulating your friend and fully possesses his body after you walk away. You head back to the battlefield, but the sky glows red and the area becomes infested with yokai. After defeating the largest of the monsters, Tokichiro appears, now empowered by the man with red eyes. He takes advantage of your confusion and lands a decisive blow, taking your life. You then awaken in the interim, a body of water separating life and death. There, your mother has been waiting for your arrival. She's happy to see that you've grown up big and strong, but sadly, there isn't much time to reminisce. After your fall, Tokichiro continued to gather spirit stones from all over the land. He has now succeeded in uniting the whole country under his rule. She understands that you're shocked by how much your friend has changed, but she explains that Tokichiro has been possessed by a demon named Otakemaru, an ancient demon that struck terror in the hearts of men. But one day, a youth appeared and struck him down with a legendary yokai slaying blade, Sohayamaru. Since then, his spirit has been sealed in Byodo Inn, but the demon has taken a new form as the Red-Eyed Man and possessed people's hearts, plunging the land into war and strife. She tasks you to head to Byodo Inn, as she believes it may be the key to restoring the ancient blade to its former glory. You awaken in the year 1590 and head to the ancient Buddhist temple. Mumio is happy to see that you're still breathing after all of these years, and joins you on your journey to the bottom of the temple. But Otakemaru wasn't the only demon sealed within its walls. Inside you find Tokichiro unshaken by the fact that you're still alive, clearly possessed by Otakemaru. Before disappearing, he breaks the seal on two other ancient demons, and one escapes into the sky, leaving you to face Shutendoji. After defeating him, you and Mumio learn in order to reforge the blade, you require a massive amount of spirit stones, Mumio's sword hilt, and your dagger. But such an amount of spirit stones is nearly impossible to find. That is until, in 1596, a plan is concocted to visit Tokichiro's castle, as it's rumored to glitter like gold. Spirit stones were most likely used in its construction, and there should be a stockpile underneath. But after infiltrating the base, it's revealed that the castle itself is a massive yokai. You defeat the possessed castle and use its energies to reforge Sohayamaru. Then in 1598, you set a trap for your old friend during a cherry blossom viewing party in Daigo Temple. There, the two friends face each other once and for all.
Nioh 覚えがあるだろう。この満開の桜。うってつけだ。お前の墓標に。秀吉は俺だ。懐かしいな。出会った時は俺が目覚めさせたんだ。親に捨てられどん底から這い上がるために俺は輝く石で夢を叶えてきた。そしてついに天下人の夢も。だが夢がでかすぎて赤い光に見入られた。夢を食って霊石を生む闇の力だとは気づかず、終わりなく膨らみ続ける悪夢の中、最後に俺の目を覚ましてくれたのはお前だった。
はやの光か。写しみは使い捨てる。世は滅びぬ。愚か者め、死ぬがいい。幾度見ても忌々しき光よ。
会いに来てくれます。強くなりましたね。大竹丸を封じる、それが最後の定め。あなたの長き定め、見届けました。
After the climactic battle, you head back to Byoda Inn to reseal Takimaru in his prison. Your very own body is used as a lock. As you seal the demon away, your vision begins to blur and strength drains from your body. But you awaken years later after the seal on Takimaru is broken again, greeted by a blue-eyed foreign man. It's clear to him that you're not in the right state of mind as your eyes glow with a bright red.
What in the world?
I crossed the raging seas to reach this land. An English-speaking ninja. A warrior without a past. Then I met a Tanuki. With the weight of the world on his shoulders. In the heat of battle, I learned the true meaning of struggle. With the defeat of the Spaniard today, finally the war is at an end.
stand ready to battle demons. I stand as a samurai.
After your vision with William's guardian, Mumio enters the room, happy that you have awakened from your long slumber. But whatever woke you up freed Otakemaru after you opened up your eyes. William is looking for a foreign woman who's up to no good, and whatever she did may be the cause of your seal breaking. You find William's target further inside Biota Inn, completing a ritual to revive Tokichiro and have Otakemaru possess his body. But you interfere with the ritual and force Otakemaru to re-enter your body. You begin a frenzy and wail dark energy. You're then transported into an internal battle to face the ancient demon once and for all. Things look dire until you hear a familiar, friendly voice calling out to you.
危なかったな。もう少しで。ムミオ、すまんな。お前も来てくれたのか。
But isn't Hideyoshi a traitor and a...
Looks like you're off the mark.
藤吉郎、人に戻ったのね。
ああ、すっかり。長い間面倒かけたな。
で、あやかしになったご気分は？体はどこもおかしくない？
そいつはこっちに聞いてくれよ。なあ、秀の字。
戻ったか。
露と落ち、露と消えにし我が身か。何話のこと。夢のまた夢。
どうせ行くとこないんでしょ。来れば。